Do you guys like the name? Did you see the names? I want to see who
Bro,
goes
clear
for
to
what name.
clear to close. I think for me is.
What?
Yeah.
Can you bring your mic?
Is
Clear
there
to
one?
close or as is
I like as is.
So the two
because
options are
it is
clear to
what it
close
is.
or as is,
for the podcast?
Brenda,
so-
what do you like?
Clear to close or
or as is for the name of the podcast.
Oh, because you haven't named your segment.
No, we haven't named
No.
it
The
yet.
podcast is just the Vargas Team podcast, but
that's
that's a temporary placeholder name until we get a.
We need to think about.
But so the two names on the table right now are clear to close and as is. As is being a pun on obviously the as is contract and how properties are as is.
I like clear to close.
Okay.
No.
Clear to close.
So how does it make sense in a podcast?
Well, because when you get that clear to close email,
Yeah.
you're happy as hell.
Yeah, that's true.
Come
When
on,
you get
man.
that clear to close
Yeah.
email.
You get that clear.
You get
Clear to
Judy.
close is more positive than as is.
As is.
I like as is because it's as is. Like it is what it is.
We can
Like,
have-
yeah, you know what I
we
mean?
can
like,
have-
we're real. Like we
I see
talk-
what you mean.
Because clear to close is like it's so basic to me. I feel like as is.
Well-
Like people weren't gonna watch us because they were like these people are gonna be transparent.
They're gonna
It
be
is
as
as-
is.
Well,
Bro.
It's as
well,
is.
But look,
We
if
can have an
they're-
as is segment within the clear to close podcast. The
Within the
as
clear
is.
to
That's
Like-
the after hours.
Yeah, the after hours, the asses, or like
As is.
Chappelle when keeping it real goes wrong type of
But we
thing.
do have to. We do have to come up with a name.
Me too. He's awesome.
So we're in between those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I,
So
I do
it-
like as is.
I
but
think
I'm
I
leaning
think we
more
got
towards-
this all on camera.
Clear to
So
close
if you
sounds
guys
better
want to let us know,
because of how it flows with the tongue.
should we
But
do
as
a
is
should-
makes more sense.
should we do a
As is
poll?
We should do a poll.
We should do a poll. We should do
Let
a
our-
poll
let our viewers
and let our viewers
yeah,
decide.
Actually, can we do that?
Yeah, we can. So
Okay.
if you're watching this video, I think we're recording, guys. So if you're watching this video and you want to help us decide whether the podcast should be named Clear to Close or As Is, let us know in the comment section below, and then we'll, the one with the most amount of comments we'll go with. I think I'm cool with either of them, honestly. But anyways, moving on. So welcome to the Vargas Team podcast, soon to be renamed something else podcast. I think this is episode 5. And so as we do in every one of our podcasts at the beginning of every episode, we'll just lay out the topics for you guys and then kind of just outline what we're going to be talking about. And in the course of the podcast, you would either decide if that's something you want to tune into or wait for or fast forward or whatever. And then obviously in between, we'll have some other cool things to say and discuss. So with that being said, in this podcast, I think we're going to bring up a lot of cool things, things that I've been wanting to talk about. I'm sure you guys have been, of those being the Airbnb tools. So Airbnb has had a lot of issues with hosts leaving the site, and that's been for several reasons that I think Chloe will really amount to. She's our Airbnb specialist, so she'll talk about that. The new law that DeSantis put in place restricting foreign national buyers. This is a super hot topic conversation.
Yeah.
People are polarized on either sides. And there's a lot to talk about there. Then obviously the Brightline, the famous Brightline that apparently is going to open, doesn't open. I don't really know too much about the Brightline. I think you can share info on it.
I've written it.
But supposedly they're going to open up new stops. I'm still waiting on Palm Beach. I think that was one of the stops, but whatever.
They already have it.
They did? Okay,
went
so then I'm
there.
just
You
behind
just
the eight
don't
ball.
ride.
I just don't ride. I obviously do not ride the Brightline. Okay, and then creative financing. So this is something that I'm passionate about because, as an investor, I bought a lot of deals with creative financing, and I kind of mentor my clients to buy deals creative financing. And a lot of people don't know that there's ways to buy properties without any, without using a bank and without any credit. So don't let not having credit or not being able to obtain funds from a bank stop you from buying real estate, because if anybody tells you that's not possible, they're obviously lying to you. I'm living proof of that. And then new restaurants. We're all foodies here apparently. It just so happens that we like to go to new places, so new things that our favorite spots that we visited of this week and things that I think you guys should check out. So why don't we start there? Keep it a little lighthearted, and we talk about what are some cool spots that every one of you have been on. And I think we're gonna name this segment, Mario, you should put like a news thing like right here in this moment, where and then the name of the segment. You know what I mean?
Do that again.
Like, right? We should name. This is a segment that I think that the team and I came up with, which is basically talking about different places that we've gone to during the week, whether that's a restaurant, bar, place to have date night, whatever. It's open for discussion. Cool places in Miami that I think that you guys should check out. Does anybody have any to name?
So the new food hall, which I posted this on our Instagram. It was one of our reels last week. The new food hall here in Brickell, Okie Dokie.
Oh, I haven't heard of it. No.
So
Where is it?
You're
It's
better
right.
with
It's
that
on.
lead.
It's on 8th Street, right,
Vero, where is it?
It's right in front of the McDonald's.
right in front of the McDonald's. So you guys know the
Oh,
only
really?
McDonald's in
Yeah.
Brickell. It's right in front of it, and they've
Oh,
been building this
nice.
place for about like
Oh, yeah.
5 years now. It's been.
It's finally open.
It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
good, man.
3
It's good.
floors.
It's a little pricey for like lunch, but
Everything in
mean,
my
no. But like I'm talking about.
Honestly,
I'm talking about like I had a ramen there. How much was it? Like $27 or something.
What?
Oh, you
Oh.
see?
I think
It's
that's
pricey.
It's
standard.
ramen, dude. That's
For ramen.
crazy.
$27 for a food hall?
Yeah,
I mean,
or
was it
or
good?
it might
Was
be
it good?
23.
Yeah, was
It
it?
was
I've had
There's a
better.
good- There's
The
a
best.
really good ramen
I've had better.
place in Miracle
Moment.
Mile.
Oh no,
It's
never
not
mind.
Miracle
That's
Mile, but
different.
it's in
It's
front of
right
Space
behind-
Coast.
What?
We have to check it out.
It's by Mir. It's like off.
like right off Miracle Mile. I forgot the name of it.
God,
So
I forgot-
good.
And it's
our favorite ramen
that's
spot.
that's a really good ramen spot. Like it's a
Really?
little hole in the wall, but you know, like those places that
It's
have
gotta be a
lines,
hole in the wall.
Yeah, it's small,
like,
and there's
around the
always a
corner,
line. There's always
and
a
you
line.
wait
Yeah.
that hour to
Yeah.
eat their ramen. Yeah,
That's
that
like
place is
Katana.
pretty good.
Katana's like that.
Oh
Katana's
yeah, I
great.
just went
Oh,
to
you
Katana.
guys are just at
First
Katana.
time.
So
Yeah.
Katana
I had a
is
lot.
a really, for those of you that don't know, Katana's like literally a hole in the wall, and they do the little boats that go around with the sushi, and you really don't realize how much food you're actually eating until like
That's the
Tell me about it.
genius
you
of
start
their
counting, you start
business
counting the
model.
little
Many
plates.
plates.
Yeah. It becomes like a rite of passage to stack up as many plates as you can. Like it's kind of like a game, and then
It's
that
good.
and
But
that's
you
what they
have
want you to
to
do.
get there early. You have to get there. Like it opens
Yeah.
at 6. You have to
To
get
get
there
there
at
at
5:30
5:30.
to stand
And
in
wait.
line.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
got there at 5:50 and we had to
They
wait
should
for, like, the
open up a
second
bigger
round.
spot.
I'm so
I feel like
OCD because I used to go there pre-COVID, and now like,
That's weird.
do they cover the sushi now?
No,
or
they
no?
don't cover it.
You see, I don't know how I feel about that.
they
I
didn't
think,
cover it
like,
Well,
during COVID.
Number
I know.
one, you had your sushi flowing through a stream.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know how you didn't
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
a certain way before.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I still feel like that. It's
Yeah.
like
That's
kinda
part of
weird.
the allure. You know,
Yeah.
that's part.
It's cute, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's because it's like it goes back into the kitchen. It's like what do they do to it?
Yeah.
You know. You
Oh,
don't know.
Mario.
You know?
Come on. I don't
Mario,
want to talk about
dude.
sanitary issues.
That's awesome.
Um,
So I'm probably not gonna go there for
No,
a
we
long
still
time.
love Katana.
Wait,
still love Katana.
so you're talking about the food hall. What about you? What about?
For me, I don't know where this place is from, but I love it, guys. I've been trying to, watch my figure and all, and I found this salad spot called Sweet Green.
Oh,
Sweet Green is
My gosh,
legit.
guys, they got so many salads there that I just love it.
They're
It feels like
huge.
they're huge salads.
massive.
They're
They're
filling.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic. I love the app. It gives you like incentives, benefits. It gives you challenges as well. Like if you buy this, we'll give you this. So it's kind of like it's gamification. It works really well.
Oh, yeah.
With me in particular, I love gamification. Whenever you make something into a game, especially in business, I feel like I'm into that a
You
lot.
should do that with your clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work
He
with
does.
Me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I tell them to give me a review, and no, I'm just kidding. No, but Sweet Green is really amazing. I've been going back. They have they have them in South Beach,
Coconut
Wynwood.
Grove.
Coconut Grove, and Wentwood. So I've been
Yeah,
going to
they're-
those three
They're really
religiously.
good. They're really good. I brought one home, and he was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
No.
And
What'd
it's
you get?
massive.
Which one did you get?
So there was one that was like a Mexican.
Okay.
Can you? Yeah. And then there's another one that's like more Cajun. I
Yeah.
don't remember
Okay.
what they were. It was at a
Try
retreat.
The
The-
spicy, what is it? No, the crunchy rice.
Oh,
Yeah, that
crispy
one.
rice bowl.
Crispy rice.
Oh
That
my
one-
Yeah.
gosh, that's the one.
Onions, and it had like onions or something in it. Ridiculous.
I love the
I
crunch.
got
Became a foodie podcast. Or something.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
All right,
Your spot.
Yeah, my spot, and then we can definitely move on. So Chloe and I think more me. I think she just humors me. I'm a brunch guy, and Chloe's a brunch person too, but like not as much as I am.
Well, I don't drink.
I
so
love
it's,
yeah.
like, a little boring.
I guess brunch is just an excuse to drink at the morning or like early in the afternoon.
Go home and
Yeah,
nap.
yeah, just go home.
He's a fan of the unlimited mimosas.
I am, dude. I
He wants to get his
literally
money's
will
worth of the
judge
unlimited mimosas.
your spot.
How many
if
do you
just
have?
offer an unlimited option? You know.
Oh, like the tortilla chips. I've heard it from him non-stop. He's like, that place isn't really Mexican if they don't give you tortilla chips.
Which
for
is
free."
true. It's
You
true.
know?
Like,
And I
you
start to
can't-
look at that and I'm like, he's right.
Yeah. If you are charging me extra for chips, that's not Mexican.
Yeah.
So it's like Texas. Anyways, but Corsair is, I think, one
Oh,
of
yeah,
the best
Corsair's
brunch
good.
spots
But don't
in Miami.
tell people about it. It's like our hidden gem.
Yeah, it's a
Bro,
hidden
if
gem.
we don't tell
Thank you,
people,
guys.
like,
Oh,
what value
For
I
the
know.
millions
I
of
know.
people that watch this podcast.
No,
It's
it's,
gonna-
no,
it's
it's
like
honestly-
millions of
it's
people.
because
We
it's
didn't know
such a
about it.
gem, and now like it's very difficult to get a reservation. Like before, I used to
That's
be able
true,
to
that's
walk
true.
in, no problem. Now I
Yeah.
can't
Actually,
get a
it's a
reservation.
terrible spot.
It's terrible.
Terrible. Don't even go there.
bad
Um,
service.
But I think Eating House is good. They just relaunched Eating House in the Gables and phenomenal.
Is it the same location or different?
No, it's a different
Oh,
location.
thank
It's
God.
right.
Yeah, it's in Gables.
It's in the Gables where they put the umbrellas, like. In the
Oh,
front of the
oh, and
Gables.
that street.
Yeah, what do they
That
call?
street
What are they
where
calling
have,
that
like,
street
a
now?
ton of
I don't know,
gems.
man. But the bar is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the bar is
Awesome.
really
They have
cool.
Pollo Taco there. They have
Yeah.
Sandwicheria.
That little spot right
That
there.
Yeah,
place is
it's
really-
crushing it.
And their Brussels sprout salad is
No.
Yeah, Brussels sprout salad and their dirt cup
The
is
dirt
just
cup.
The dirt cup.
insane.
the
Yeah,
dirt cup.
you gotta tell them. I remember Isabel and I used to go there, and we told them to make it a dirt bucket,
What?
and it's like a bigger bowl.
Yeah.
They
It's
have
to
that
share.
option.
They
Yeah.
offer that?
Pro tip,
Yeah,
guys.
and
Wow.
and it's gigantic. It's crazy.
It's delicious. And then their Captain Crunch pancakes.
But explain
which is
to the viewers who've never been or heard of Eating House what a dirt cup is, because they probably
Okay,
have
a
no
Oh,
idea.
yeah,
dirt
it's true.
cup, I believe, they make it two different ways. So you can make it out of chocolate pudding, or
Mm-hmm.
you can make it out of a hazelnut chocolate scoop of ice cream or gelato.
Yeah,
Then
it's
they
ice
do
cream.
it out of the ice cream. And then they do the dirt is made out of like cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
And what else do they put in?
They
It's
put
like a
it in like a
chocolate mousse on
flower
top.
pot. They
Yeah,
put it in
They-
like
yeah,
a flower pot.
But it looks so
And
pretty.
then
Actually, I think
and
I
then
want to
they
get you guys
put
a
like
photo.
a flower out of it, right?
No, it's like an actual like little basil. leaf or
Basil
something
leaf.
A little
sticking
basil
out.
leaf sticking out, and it looks
And
like
it looks like a little pot.
like a little pot,
potted-
like
They
one
give
of
it to you in
these,
a pot,
like
yeah.
one of these
Oh,
little
yeah.
pots.
And you're like,
let me
oh,
show
it's
you
so
guys.
pretty. Yeah. Here we
So imagine you're
That-
eating
imagine
your
that coming to
dessert
your table.
right here, and then there's a little laser,
You're like, I don't want to
little
touch it.
basil
It's so
leaf.
cute.
And
Yeah,
it's
you
a
want to take it
dessert.
home?
Yeah. So besides the brunch spot, Chloe and I went to, what is it? Caddyshack, or not Caddyshack is the movie. The Putt Shack.
Oh, Putt
Putt
Shack.
Shack
Putt Shack.
In
Fancy?
Brightline City Center.
So someone from, I guess, the Putt Shack team had reached out to Chloe, because apparently Chloe is an influencer now. I didn't know this, but she's an influencer. They reached out, gave her 2 tickets to
Yeah.
go, right? Just entrances. and
Around.
yeah. We checked it out. I was not expecting much, but I was super impressed. The con was that it was super crowded.
It was so crowded,
Yeah.
and they let me pick what date, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's Friday, I want to go to a
Oh
date
my
night.
gosh.
And it was slammed.
Super
but
slammed.
the cool thing is they have like 2 levels.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can play in the first level, which is very like traffic packed, and then you go to the second level, and then that's like a little bit more relaxed. But I was a little annoyed because we sat in traffic, so we didn't have time to go eat in Brickell. And then I was like,
That's
all
it
right,
there.
I guess we're gonna
But
have
the
to
food
eat
was
here.
good.
So we ate at the bar, and the food was actually surprisingly
Yeah.
really
So the
good.
vibe is
So,
is great. It's like a
Price
bar.
point, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
a
It's decent.
bar / mini golf setup, and it's like a modern esque mini golf. It's definitely not what you would consider mini golf today. So they have
I almost
they have a
beat you.
live DJ. Yeah, you almost, but you
I
didn't.
almost beat you.
But so they have a live DJ. They have a bar.
You set yourself up.
And we're super competitive. And then
I know I wasn't competitive. You were the one that was competitive.
Yeah,
I started
yeah.
and I was like,
Any-
like you know, like when you're not even playing.
And
you're
he's like, "Where's the driver?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, wait, she's beating me. And
Yeah,
it's like
so I
by
take it forever.
midway,
I take every game.
My guy did-
so
my guy did one of
competitive.
these.
He's like rolling up his sleeves.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Okay." But
Very
yeah,
nice.
they have a DJ.
And so
very
the
vibey.
the
It's
mini
very
golf is in like, as opposed to you going to the traditional mini golf place that has like this long whatever and you hit and
Yeah.
it's going through like a little
It's like
Ferris wheel or whatever,
cheesy,
yeah,
yeah.
cheesy thing. It's more digital, right? So it's kind of just like a small area, but everything is like little blocks moving, like motorized little blocks moving, and it's
Oh.
like neon
Robots.
colors, and it's like, yeah, it's very futuresque, and it tags your ball, so when you hit the ball it knows exact, and there's a big like TV projection screens, and it like tells you how many hits you've gotten. It's really cool, and it's on a point system, so it's gamified.
Yeah.
You know, so you really
Oh.
are trying to shoot the least amount, like in golf, whatever. It's really cool. It's
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can choose which level you start at. You don't have to start on the
Everyone
first
starts
one.
at an equal level.
so it's different little what are those things called, like little platforms,
Stations?
little stations, and then there's probably like 10 stations on one side, and then you go to the other side and there's like another 10 stations, and you make your way through each station, and it
And you're
keeps
just
track.
having a beer,
Yeah.
like talking.
And there's
Everyone
like little
takes their
tables
time.
in every station, so you could put drinks
You
on.
could
Like
put
it's
your
yeah,
oh,
so
nice,
it's really
that's
cool.
cool,
It's in Brickell City Center. You guys should
The
definitely check it
DJ
out.
was phenomenal.
DJ was
Friday
great,
night.
yeah.
Oh my god, all like the old school.
It was
music.
like
Yeah.
Really?
early
The music was
2000s.
really
If you're into
Oh.
old school like hip hop
yeah,
and
that's
R&B, for sure. All right, cool. So now that we got that out of the way, airport Airbnb tools. Do you want to talk about what this is about?
Yeah, so for Airbnb, I don't know if you're a host or if you've experienced this, but a lot, like when it comes to booking an Airbnb now online, a lot of hosts were pulling their listings out because they were noticing that if there was someone that vandalized their property, they would not really get reimbursed, or they would have to battle it out with Airbnb. And Airbnb was promise to protect the host. So a lot of hosts started pulling out and started going to VRBO and other platforms, and Airbnb started getting wind of this and their stock dropped. And then I believe like this quarter, like spring, summer, they decided, you know what, we're going to revamp 50 new features for hosts and how to protect them. So now they had, like, if there is some vandalization done to the property or theft or whatever that might be, you can report it on Airbnb. There's a step process, and they will personally reimburse you from what I have experienced if the guest decides not to reimburse you. So you don't really have to fight it out with them anymore. There's still a lot of stuff that they have to fix in order to protect the host and the property, but they are taking those necessary steps.
That's
so
cool.
I appreciate it because it has been a total nightmare the last 2 years. But I definitely see the change in the last month. So as long as you're using the platform the right way and being completely transparent with your guests, they're going to do what they can to protect you is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, as owners of Airbnb properties and as co-hosts for our investors who own Airbnb properties, Chloe more so than me because she handles the day-to-day of the operations, is familiarized with Airbnb. And what I can tell you is that it is not easy because especially with vacancy rates dropping in the short-term space, and obviously our job, we live and breathe by how many nights we can rent on a given month. A lot of hosts and Airbnb just owners have been dropping their prices, but what happens is when you drop the prices, the quality of the people who go in there it's definitely associated with the lower the price, the more likelihood that there is that the person is going to trash that place, right? And so we've noticed that, and so it's kind of like this double-edged sword because you want to book, you want to keep your properties filled, but at the same time, at what cost? And if Airbnb, which is the provider of the service, isn't giving you the backing and the support that you need in order to vet these people, or at the very least compensate you for the damage that was done, or makes you go through this very long, tedious process to get your money back, or at least be compensated for the damages, then yes, people are exploring other options like VRBO, because Airbnb isn't the only game in town. They're obviously the biggest, but they could potentially lose market share.
And their fees are really high. That I have guests calling me personally and they're like, "Hey, can I book through you?" I'm like, "No, sorry, we have to do it through the platform because again, that's how we're protected." And just for legal reasons, we have had a lot. Like we've tried to do it the other way and it just doesn't work out. You want to keep everything in writing, especially as a host. And that's saved us tremendously because then Airbnb comes back at you and it'll tell you, well, did you do this, like, did you take these necessary steps? And you're like, yeah, read the messages. Like, everything is on there. So guests are realizing.
Can you talk into the mic just in case?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I think Chloe forgot.
She can hear me.
Oh, she's fine.
I talk really loud.
She talks loud.
Pero I'm good?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Go for it.
Now I lost my train of thought, Steven.
Hey, so what are some of those fees that they're talking about? What are some of the high fees with Airbnb?
So according to guests, there are like you have to pay the taxes, right? But there is a hosting fee and a guest fee, service fee. And Airbnb makes money on both ends. They make it on the end of the host and they make it on the end of the guest. What people don't want to pay that fee, right? Essentially. But you are getting a discounted rate versus going to a hotel. Now, the guests also do not want to pay cleaning fees. So the cleaning fees, they'll say, oh, well, $125 is a lot for a 3-bedroom. Go to a hotel, you're paying $150 a night for a studio. So they're looking at everyone's just looking for the best deal and the best bang for your buck. But like what Steven said, with that comes a different level of quality of guests. And it is hurting the host. At least in Miami, we've seen it in a lot of our properties. But that's why vetting, and I could talk a whole segment on Airbnb, but vetting the guests is so important.
Well, what's one quick tip for somebody who has an Airbnb property? What's a quick tip that you could give them to make sure that their properties are protected, or just in general for vetting people?
So
you have a lot of.
I have a lot of things that run through my head, but one thing I do tell my team is always look out for ratings. Right? You definitely want to check the reviews.
Yeah, we don't have
instant
book. We don't have instant book.
We do not have instant book on. And you learn with everything, right? And as a rookie, I learned, you know what? I'm just gonna have to review all the ratings for those specific guests. Now, anything below four stars, I'll have my team personally contact me, and then I'll review it and see if they qualify to stay in our unit. And sometimes we even ask them because they'll reach out and be like, "Why did you deny my request?" And I'm like, "Well, your rating was a 3.5, and the previous host had said that there was theft involved or." Scratchings on the wall or something broke, and we really just try to make sure that we vet our guests because we like to keep our properties at the highest quality possible, even though you're getting the best rate. And then,
another quick tip tip that I wanted to give them is that you came up with a while back that I think has been genius. So genius that people have been stealing the idea, literally, which is that Chloe started buying towels, you know, in the bathroom instead of using white towels because people would wipe their makeup and then destroy the towels. So she would use like hand towels and then put a black towel that says makeup on it on the towel. So it's, you know, it's kind of like, you're not going to mess this up, right? You have a white towel for your hands and the black towel that says makeup on it. And people started stealing the black makeup towels.
So now I have missing makeup towels.
So now she has missing makeup towels because people, I guess, really like the fact that it was a makeup towel. And so Chloe would just buy boxes of these things, and our cleaning staff, whenever that would get stolen, obviously she would request the money back, but because you can't be stealing towels and things like that. But she would always have like a reserve amount so that you know we can quickly turn over the unit and have that ready. And then you also started doing you started buying the big shampoo bottles, and people started stealing the shampoo bottles.
So
she
that's
started buying.
I'm gonna make reels on this, but like having back stock and like important.
So we have a whole back stock.
Dude, we saw it on Family Guy.
What?
Oh, you gotta watch this episode.
You know it's real when it's on Family Guy.
Where she got Lois got a bad review because she took the shampoo.
No.
And the host was like, "You took my shampoo." She gave her a bad review, and Lois freaked out, right? No. And then when she freaked out, she tells her family, "Which one of you guys took the shampoo?" And then it started coming out, you know, and it was a little shampoo, and then you see the shampoo, and the thing was like this big, you know, and then she's fighting. You gotta watch this because this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
But she started doing DoorDash and got her back by giving her a bad review on DoorDash. Okay. It's a funny show. You gotta watch that.
You gotta use the clip. I want to use that clip.
Yeah. Definitely send us the clip. So yeah, cool. Yeah, you should definitely do some reels. And if you aren't following Chloe and the Confidant Property Management team, you should definitely do that so that you could get more Airbnb tips and other important information on there if you're in the Airbnb or short-term rental game.
Or long-term rentals.
We do long-term rentals as well, but you know, people seem to really be Airbnb seems to be like the hot, you know, commodity at this moment. All right, so moving on, the law restricting foreign national buyers. I know you've been reading up on this. I've been doing some research up on it. I'm still, obviously the news that DeSantis, we broke the news, I think the same day or a day before he had launched his presidency. He broke the news that in Florida it would be, I don't know if it's illegal or he's making it very difficult for foreign nationals to buy property here. Is it illegal? I don't think it's illegal yet.
It's starting July 1st.
Okay.
It's in Florida.
And it's going to be very difficult for, I think it's, how many countries? I know it's China, Venezuela.
The communist countries,
Cuba,
I think it's like.
Russia.
No,
not Colombia.
No, man.
It's the communist countries at the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
and the Chinese have it worse. So that's why
there has to be a loophole for this, though.
I don't know if there is. I mean,
it's difficult because he wants them to register any LLC by January 1st of next year, right?
Well, yeah. If you're gonna buy, or if you're in the, trying to buy right now, you have to make sure that you close before July 1st, because after July 1st
of this year, 2023, okay,
so things are gonna change. Yeah. And then if you already own properties, you have to register your property with the state. And if you don't register, I think they haven't opened up the registration, so it's kind of, we're still waiting for it. But they're gonna give you a deadline of January 31st, 2024 to register. And if you don't register your property, very important, if you don't register your property, they're gonna fine you $1,000 per day.
Wow.
So please register your properties if that's you.
If you're a foreign national buyer within those countries, then you have to register.
Exactly.
I mean, when it goes across Florida, it's really just talking about few cities in Florida, right? Because Miami being like the primary city of foreign national buyers.
It's like within 10 miles. You can't buy within 10 miles of airports, or they say like critical areas, so like ports.
So basically all of Florida.
The cleaning where they clean the water.
I mean, you could buy in like tertiary markets that are just very far from. But like obviously foreign national buyers are buying for either secondary homes, which is probably a small amount of them. The majority of them are probably buying for assets and then asset allocation and make sure that their funds are safe from their countries. And Miami is a prime area that a lot of those foreign national buyers. I mean, Miami was and continues to be built on the back of foreign national buyers, right? And especially immigrants, right? So that's scary for Miami buyers and the Miami real estate market, and it could have tremendous impacts. It could not be as impactful. However, it would be difficult to see how that wouldn't affect
think it gives
Miami.
an advantage to people that have been wanting to buy in these states, and like at least in Florida that couldn't afford it, were getting bought out cash by.
Yeah, it
foreign
maybe
buyers,
it's
by making it a little bit
restricting one type of buyer, another one comes into the fold, and then but.
If you are here, like as a refugee, they'll allow you to buy one property. You have to live in it. It can't be an investment. So there's that, loophole.
Yeah.
You could buy a property, live in it, and then house hack, so you can turn it into a primary and then / investment.
Yeah. What do you guys think is gonna happen with Disney? Disney leaving.
Oh, the whole Disney thing.
You think like
What do you
Six
mean,
Flags?
Disney's leaving Orlando?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
man. That's-
You don't
Disney's
think so?
not
I don't think
No. This is all a plot.
First, Disney's losing a ton of money on Disney Plus, and they're funding Disney Plus by the amusement parks.
But they're closing that hotel, the Star Wars
the
one.
Star Wars hotel.
Yeah.
But that was because they weren't making enough money.
I mean,
out
it
of
was $6,000 to go to the Star Wars hotel for 3 days, 2 nights.
Get out.
Yeah, it's $6,000.
Like you gotta be a real Star Wars fan for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Did
Or
you
you
guys
gotta
stay
be-
in it?
No. I love how we don't have as many reviews
First
as
off,
Mario, so we can't.
If I decided to take a $6,000 vacation, it would definitely not be Disney World.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I
No,
love
if there's
Disney. I love
anybody
Disney. I love
that
Disney,
would take a $6,000,
It
it'd be you guys.
It would be to stay in the castle, not in a Star
can't
Wars
stay in the
hotel.
castle.
Yeah, we can
Huh?
try
Can't
and
stay in
take
the castle.
Mickey from
Yeah,
Minnie.
you have to be
You
like
have
in
to
a
win
draw,
or
like a
like,
raffle or
something
something.
like that.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think I do believe from what I've heard, they were looking at land in like Texas, right? To try to create another it was
Yeah,
like
good
a
luck with
world,
that.
a villain world or something. That was the rumor, but to take money elsewhere. They don't want to put any more money. So they were gonna do like an 18 million or $1 billion project to bring in more, like to hire more employees and bring in more revenue to Florida, but they canceled that. So he X'd that out, and he was like, no, if I'm going to put my money anywhere else, it's outside of Florida. So I definitely I don't foresee Disney World leaving. Like,
I don't think so.
I mean, there's a lot of
Walmart
stuff in the
really
air.
hard to bring it here. I don't think they're going to pull out.
You don't think so?
And now that DeSantis is running for president, this is just like all part of
Bro,
that.
it's
We have
a-
a year.
it's
you know
a-
what I mean?
it's a
Like,
pissing contest
he's gonna
right now.
get distracted. Like, there's just it is a pissing contest. I definitely think that right now it's just to keep everyone entertained and to get them out of like looking at the bigger picture,
What's the bigger picture?
the presidential election and our economy,
Yeah,
and
our
things that
economy, man.
actually really do matter.
No.
They always do that. They always.
They always distract us.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
It's all a plan to keep your mind off the war. That's a reference to a Chris Rock special, if you guys don't know. All right, anyways. So a lot to talk about there. If you guys have any additional information or would like to leave comments about your thoughts on the foreign national restrictions, let us know in the
let's
comment section, and we'll follow this topic up in our next podcast. But yeah, Brightline, Mario, I know you feel you have strong feelings towards the Brightline.
Absolutely.
What
man.
is your...
strong feelings, man? We went to Japan as a boy and I.
In the Brightline.
Brightline goes to Japan now?
Where?
All right, let me continue. We went to Japan and we drove. We rode the bullet trains,
bullet trains,
and it was life changing. Right.
They're fast.
Not saying
Yeah.
they're bullet trains. Not saying that Brightline is gonna be a bullet train, because it's not. It's still a lot better than driving all the way up to Orlando.
But is it though? Because
You gotta get around.
it takes
It
you the
is.
same amount of time to get there than driving.
All right, but you don't have traffic,
Yeah.
right? You don't gotta put gas all the way. You
but
take
when
a
you get
ticket
there,
out.
You gotta rent a car.
Absolutely, I'd rather rent a car all day.
Really?
But I
You have to pay to get on it.
Oh, but you're
then you have to get there and
don't
rent a car,
talk.
and you don't get there any
Don't talk.
faster.
Don't talk. You fell
Don't
asleep on the
speak.
way to Orlando,
Yeah,
and
I'm
like,
getting old, bro.
yeah.
Wait, he
okay?
fell asleep?
Fell asleep
Driving?
like fell asleep.
Get out.
And
Always falling
the
asleep.
nanny looks at me. She's like,
No.
and I'm like, okay, we're switching seats. And I don't like driving. Honestly, if I could take the Brightline anywhere,
It's
I
just
would.
driving
Yeah,
Orlando
man.
is so
And then on
like
the way back, he fell
mundane.
asleep too.
It's just
So then I was like, man,
it's
maybe
so
the Brightline
boring.
would be.
Right.
But it's
But
great
So-
because on the way home, you don't have to worry about that,
Right.
about driving
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, yeah.
I went to West Palm Beach on the Brightline, went to visit my friend, had fun. I didn't have to worry about having to drive back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
you could work.
It's definitely more convenient for you guys that live in the heart of downtown. Like
Yeah.
for us,
We're really close to it.
And
Like, I
they
have to get in my car.
shuttles. So
Oh, yeah,
from
they-
the
they-
Brightline,
yeah.
they pick me up and at my
What?
where I live.
Yeah.
So what are the stops?
So I didn't know that. They can
Yeah.
pick you up.
Yeah, they pick you up.
Well, like an
Uh-huh.
additional service fee,
No.
right?
No.
Oh, it's
It's
included.
included.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
they'll
that's
pick
a,
you
it's like
pick
a
you
way
up,
to
they drop you
promote it.
off.
from your house.
Yeah,
No.
I live here in downtown, and the station is also in downtown.
Oh, so it's a station, and then you go to the you walk to the station, they pick you up, and you go.
No.
It's not like
no,
a private.
I go downstairs, go in the lobby, waiting in the lobby. They come and pick me up,
No
then
way.
they take me to the
Oh,
station.
that's
and
cool.
That's a
I-
way to promote
Mhm.
Brightline. That's a way to get people to start writing
Yeah.
it, right? I think a cool thing is it's just connecting all of Florida. You know, you
That
have,
would be cool.
You have
Can I go to Naples
you have
next?
downtown exactly. So you have downtown,
Yo.
right? It goes as soon as it's gonna go to Wynwood. There's gonna be another stop in Wynwood for people coming from out of town, right? Then you got what is it? Fort Lauderdale, Boca,
There's going to be an
Aventura.
Aventura. I
Right.
don't think there's yet, but there is. Gonna
Yeah, they're working
Yeah,
on
I've
it.
seen it. It's right in front of
Um,
Aventura Mall.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's working, it's working. Imagine.
And there's
No, I
one
don't know
in
if it's
Lauderdale.
working. I saw it. I don't know.
Got you. So you got West Palm, you got Boca, and then now you got Orlando, and they're planning on taking it to Tampa. So it's connecting all of Florida, man. I think it's gonna be
So
big
you're
time.
like Disney World. Ooh, Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens.
Ooh, come
We
back.
still gotta go to Busch Gardens.
I mean,
You haven't been to Busch Gardens?
No.
Never.
if you're a
Never.
roller coaster
Yeah, you have to
enthusiast,
Yeah.
really
you'll like
roller
it.
coasters. We're
I
not.
love
We're
But
not.
I'm not.
I think I'm excited. I didn't know
Mario's
about.
gonna be like, yeah.
You're not.
No,
I'm
You're
gonna be
not?
crying.
I am.
You are, but you're not.
Hell, heck
Okay,
no.
so then you're
Heck
gonna
no.
hate it because there's really not much more to do there than that.
I get I get car sick.
No,
So imagine
yeah,
me
do
like.
not.
Yeah, do not do it. But I think it's cool about the Palm Beach. We should definitely go to Palm Beach. She's Chloe, and I love Palm
Yeah.
Beach.
Yes, I recommend.
We just like driving around and looking at places. Like
Yeah,
we're,
that's
we're those,
true.
So we're gonna have to rent a
You-
car.
do you guys
Uh,
drive through like
Uber.
neighborhoods?
Yeah.
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 We
We
love
always
it.
I like
check out
doing
real
that.
estate.
We love it.
Yeah.
And the Brightline is clean, guys.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
clean. It's
I mean-
it's,
I mean,
it's new and they keep it really well. There's like a bar there. You could if you buy like a certain ticket, a VIP
Right.
ticket. I think it comes with a drink as well.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So,
'Cause at the end of the day, they look at it as a
Yes.
business. You know?
Oh, damn.
Oh, they
it's
do have a
alcoholic.
business. I thought they had like a business lobby or something
Right, yeah,
in
and
Orlando.
there's tons of incentives too. You know, the stations have like, you know, here in downtown they have a Chick-fil-A, they have places to eat, they have bars.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
so
nice.
it's fun.
I enjoy
So
it.
guys, this is just to let
So
you
I
know
understand-
we're gonna throw Isabel and Mario on the Brightline,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna go through each station
Ooh.
and give you a play-by-play.
And if anybody of the
First.
Brightline administration office is watching this and would
Yeah.
like us to invite us on the Brightline, and we can even host a podcast while we're on the Brightline, that's pretty cool.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, it'll be a
that
good
would be
one.
pretty
Vero,
dope.
get ready.
Yeah,
Pack
so
your bags, girl.
definitely slide into our DMs and let us know because
Put
we're
in that
always
PTO.
always willing to take on free things that we enjoy. So yeah, I understand your affinity towards the Brightline now. So
Yeah,
get
I
it.
just love being.
I didn't get it. I
being
didn't get it
connected,
before, but I
yeah.
got it. Oh, you like being connected.
connected. Yeah.
Hence the reviews
And not
that you
driving.
get and, yeah,
And not driving. No, I just like, man, imagine the amount of people that are gonna be coming into town now, right? And
No,
then
the
that's gonna,
traffic
and then that's
alone.
gonna like relieve stress from traffic, right?
Yeah.
So
I get you.
we need things like that because, as you guys know, man, it's not easy to get around now.
It's not easy. All right, so let's move on to one of our last topics, and then floor is open for Q&A. Do we have any Q&As from our lovely audience? Let me check. We have no Q&As. Okay, cool. So then I'll move on to
Beto, that was
the
your
next
cue, man.
topic. Yeah, Q&As from our producer. No Q&As. Can you invent one? Just let us know. So if you want to leave us a Q&A for the next podcast, let us know. So creative financing. This is something that I love talking about because it's something that I practice, but also a lot of people have been getting more. And as interest rates go up,
Yeah.
people are trying to find other solutions and other alternatives. And creative financing was something that was really popular before the boom because it was much easier to come across. And then, obviously over the last 2 years, sellers weren't really as incentivized to have to take these creative deals because everyone was just buying anything that was on the market. But now, because the market has starting to come back to some sort of normalcy and deals aren't flying off the shelves as they used to, creative financing is starting to come back, right? So one of the things that I get asked a lot is about the whole seller financing thing. I know, Mario, you're kind of interested in the seller financing thing, right?
Yeah, so I was excited when you brought this up because I wanted to ask you as a person who might want to start implementing this in
Right.
his life, right? So right now, let's just say we got denied for getting a loan because the rates went up, right? How would we approach the landlord?
Yeah. So with seller financing, it's basically, for those of you guys who are watching that don't know, it's basically when the seller holds the note and provides the mortgage to the buyer. So basically the seller, in other words, becomes the bank. And the best way to approach it, because I always get a lot of questions as to like, well, why would a seller want to provide you the loan? Like, what incentives does the seller have? A lot of incentives, actually, but it really just depends on why the seller is selling, right? Not everybody, people either sell for pain or for greed, right? Those are the two reasons people sell. They either have to sell because of some sort of financial event or family event. They need to, so that's their pain point. Or they sell because they want to make the most amount of money as possible. So we have to figure out why the seller is selling first. But if they're selling for greed, which is, the majority of the cases, you would just approach the seller with basically the terms that make them, I don't want to say greedy, but it attracts that mindset that they're trying to do, which is sell it for the highest amount. So let's say you're selling a property for $500,000. And I see that it's been sitting on the market for a bit. I would call you and say, hey, why is it that you haven't gotten your $500,000 or whatever? And so the process there would be to try to find deals that have been on the market a little while longer, and then try to approach the seller and say, I'll give you the 500, or in some cases, if it merits it, give them a premium. I'll give you the 510 or 515, 10, 15, and even 20K above asking if needed. And the seller's eyes are immediately going to open up because they're going to say, well, why is this guy going to give me not only what I want, but more? And then you're going to say, I'll give you the price, but you give me the terms. So you get what you want, but I need to get what I want. And what I want is time, right? So time is money. I just need additional time. So I'll give you 15 to 20% of a down payment, which is going to tide you over. And the balance, I need you to finance it for me for 4, 5, 6%. You're the bank, so you name the interest rate. You name the interest rate that you're comfortable with, and then we'll both set an agreement for a term of 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And then at the end of the 7 years, I'll pay you off. So what's the incentives for seller to take it? Well, the incentive is that not only are they going to sell it for the price that they want, but they're going to possibly sell it for a premium. And they're going to make an interest per year while holding the note. And if you foreclose on the property, they get the property back plus their interest that they've made per year, and they keep your down payment. So really, they have no risk, but the title gets transferred over to you, so you're still the owner.
Got you. Okay. What are some of the benefits for the buyer in this case?
Well, the buyer essentially doesn't have to go through a credit check. So in many cases, this works great for people who don't qualify. But even someone like me, when I first started buying real estate, I didn't qualify for a bank loan. So I did 3 of these deals within like the first 8 months. And I got 3 properties that I didn't need a bank for. And then all I had to do was put 15 to 20% down, gave it to the seller. The seller gave me a 5-year note at 5% interest only payments. And at the end of the 5 years, I'd have to pay him back off. And then by year 2 or 3, I would refinance with the bank and put a 30-year mortgage on it. And then I'd pay the seller off. And in many cases, I'd keep some cash on my pocket if I did a cash out refi, or if I just did a rate refi, then I would just keep the same mortgage and then just cash flow off of the existing mortgage payment and just keep everything the same. But now I have a 30-year mortgage on it, right? So the benefits is not having to do a credit check, not having to pay lender points. In most cases, you're not like the seller isn't going to charge you lender points, right? And the speed of the deal in which you could do is basically a cash deal, right? So we don't need to go through appraisals. We don't need to go through a bunch of the red hoops and documents and information that we need to provide to a bank. And it's much quicker for the seller and the buyer to transact than it would be to have a bank involved, right?
Especially if it's your first property and you're going through and trying to get a mortgage. A lot of times you have to live in the property the first year. Yeah. If you don't want to live in the property and it's an investment property, this is also an opportunity for you to not live in the property and still have it as an investment.
Right. Would you still hold on to your FHA if you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of those benefits, right?
Yeah. So you could buy a couple seller financing deals right now. And this is great, guys, for interest rates are high, right? So there's another one called subject to, which is basically seller financing, but it's when the seller owns a mortgage, has a mortgage on it. And subject to, the only difference is that because the seller has a mortgage on it, the seller is like, well, I have a mortgage. I can't finance you because I have a mortgage payment. So what you would say is you would tell them, look, I'll give you a down payment. I'll take over the mortgage payment, right? It's going to stay in your name, but the title is going to go to my name. So I own the piece of real estate, but you own the mortgage. And I'm just going to start making the mortgage payments on your behalf. The reason why that's super beneficial is because mortgage payments in the last 2 to 3 years were like 2.5%, 2.8%, 3%. So you can approach sellers that have like a 3% interest rate and basically convince them to take over the mortgage and be the new owner of the property while you make the payments and cash flow on that deal. Now, why would somebody want to sell their property? Again, you'd have to figure out either is the greed or the pain. Some of these the subject to people tend to be more pain people, which would be like they are either in a divorce, they want to get rid of the property, they inherited the property, they don't want to do real estate, they're in retirement. A lot of these baby boomers, they're like, I don't really want to focus on tenants and termites, but I also don't want to pay 20% capital gains tax, right? So I'd rather you give me a lump sum of cash now, I pay taxes on that, and then you just pay me every month, and then in 4, 5, 6 years, then I could pay the tax. They're deferring their taxes as well. So there are incentives to sellers as well. And again, if you foreclose and you don't pay, they take back the property. They're the bank, so they would have to just foreclose on you, and then they have very little risk as well. So it's very beneficial to both people. So for those buyers out there that are like not qualifying and they're saying, listen, I can't qualify for a mortgage, or the mortgage payments are too expensive for it to cash flow, go to somebody who has a 3% mortgage. And again, this is a numbers game. 10 people are going to say no. But on the 11th try, somebody may say yes. At least that's happened to me. For the 5 deals that I did seller financing, how many offers did I send out? Probably like 60 offers.
We had a guy pull out on 2 transactions.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of...
He realized it was a good deal. And he was like, no, I don't want to sell. And better deals will come.
Yeah, but we were able to get seller financing. And it's been phenomenal, right? Because, you know, we locked in very low interest rates. The property has appreciated. The property has cash flowed. And then you refinance it. And then you get into a long-term debt.
So there's options, guys.
Yeah,
Get yourself a good team.
so there's definitely options, and so don't get discouraged if you're in the market not buying. I know this is something that you and Isabel have been thinking about doing for a long time, but
it's time.
That's the way, man.
Yeah. So if you guys need help with this kind of stuff, reach out to the team.
Yeah. So we are experts in creative financing.
How we started our business.
Yeah, that's how we started investing. So that's cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know, and the team know. We'll be happy to help. Does anybody have anything else they want? I have one topic here: new restaurants. So I don't know if you wanted to bring that up.
I thought we talked about the restaurant.
No, we talked about spots. Really, it was kind of in there. But did we talk about new restaurants?
Queen opened up like
Everyone's been talking about Queen.
2 months ago. 3 months ago, I think. We went. It was good. Beautiful. There's
The decor.
Yeah, the decor. There's different floors as well. Now they opened up their omakase section, so you have that. You go in and it's like the bar area, and then like behind that you'll have like the dining area, but it's gorgeous. And they have Well, we talked about this last podcast, but they have shows. They have like aerial lists.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the
good.
decor that it's they spent a good amount of money on like making that place look super nice. What's your favorite? It's not new, but that restaurant that you love that's in Surfside. What's it called?
What?
That we went for my birthday.
Oh, your birthday. Bourbon Steak.
No.
That's not my favorite restaurant. Oh my God.
Okay,
That's a
never,
surf
never
club.
mind. And with
The
that,
surf
guys,
club.
we'll
No, the surf club. Surf club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
You sure?
Yeah. I
It's
think
in the
that.
Ritz.
No, it's in the Four Seasons.
There's a Four Seasons.
Oh
Damn,
my
bro,
God.
you guys going to bougie spots.
No,
man.
that place is. And I've heard, and I'm so upset, I heard their chocolate chip cookies are off the menu. You have to request it. And they were like the best chocolate chip cookies. So I'm like, I have to.
I mean,
request
how-
Better than yours?
I
Yours
don't know.
are-
Guys, she makes some.
No shot.
The
No
best
shot.
chocolate
I
chip
should
cookies
bring
right
like,
here.
I know.
I
And
know.
honestly, maybe I should bring them next time. Just lay them out.
Yeah.
Make people jealous for
Yeah,
sure.
just-
I like with all the time I have. Let me
And that's
just
how you
throw
launch
them.
your cookie business.
Yeah, my little Chloe's cookies. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good one. But a
It's
lot
not
of people don't
new,
know
but
about
it is.
No.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know about it. So technically, it could be new to you, you know. And so if it is,
But if
check
you
it out.
guys do have a list of restaurants you do recommend for brunch, especially in the Miami area, please add them below. And we would love to
Yes,
try
let
them
us
and
know.
give you
Restaurants
that
in
feedback.
general,
Yeah.
we are foodies for sure.
Yeah,
And coffee snobs.
Oof. All
Mario-
right, talking about coffee, man. I'm gonna bring out my boy Jesus. This guy opened up. What's so funny, bro? I feel like every time I say something, you guys
Okay.
crack
My
up.
boy Jesus.
My boy Jesus.
My boy Jesus came out in Doral
Caracas
with
Bakery.
Caracas Bakery, and now he's got one in the Mimo area.
Oh, good
Wait,
for
where in
him.
Doral?
In Doral, it's.
Mario's brought us pastries.
I've brought you guys.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that guy's.
The croissant.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
croissant.
Yeah.
Those are the croissants.
But how's the
But
coffee?
where is Caracas in Doral? Oh, is
Man.
it
It's
downtown
By your
Doral?
mom. It's by
It's
your
by my
mom's
mom's.
spot? Yeah, it's by your. It's not
Yeah.
far. Yeah, it's not
What's
far.
all right? So you guys know 87th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the other one? 70 something? 79th?
Yeah,
No.
where the Cine Bistro is. In that mall?
No.
No.
No, that
No,
is-
it's not in the mall.
It's not a mall.
It's not in the mall. So what's that other street
Like a
between?
little
shopping
Well,
79?
closer to the
79.
closer to 836.
Yeah, closer
Yeah,
to
so
the
that's
one that's
79.
on 79.
Yeah.
Between 30. what is it?
33rd.
No, 30 something and 55th or 57th. It's in between there.
Yeah, their pastries are really good.
It's
so it's
amazing,
not far from us,
but the
though.
other
No, it's
one
not.
is on
We should go back.
Biscayne, and it's
How's their coffee?
no, their coffee's amazing, man.
Yeah.
But I gotta say that
The
the new
pastries,
spot
though.
that they have,
Legit.
It's nice.
it's beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah?
I love he's got an eye for design,
That's good.
and the place is just beautiful, but everything they're making is amazing. And you go there on a Sunday, forget about it. You
Slammed?
like it's
Forget
slammed.
about it.
It's slammed.
This is trending.
Yeah,
Really?
Caracas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
He's killing it.
Where?
Wow, I know, dude. What's
know.
up? Bring
Our
Jesus.
I know.
coffee.
Hey, the croissants are so good that all day. Remember all day?
They
Was
sell
now
them
open
now.
all day?
That's not open all day. They're carrying his pastries now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's killing it,
I'm
man.
going to check it out.
Good
You guys
shit.
want to go
Jesus.
after this?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
available.
super down.
It's super.
All right, guys. With that, this is almost going into an hour. So, yeah, we got things to do. You guys got things to do. But if you want to let us know what we can improve on, what we could do better, keep it to yourselves. We don't need it. I'm just
No.
kidding. Let
Pick
us
the
know.
name.
Yeah,
Pick the
let us know.
name.
Pick the name.
As is.
Questions. If you have questions on any of the topics that we've spoken about, or you have any questions or topics that you want us to speak about on the next podcast, email us. I'll put my email in the show notes, steven@stevenvargas.com, and we'll be bringing them up in the next topic. And then maybe our producer will have some questions that, you know,
From the viewers.
from
man.
the viewers, man.
Pero.
It's not your fault.
No,
It's
they
not your
don't.
fault. It's our viewers' fault. They didn't. Nobody was interested. But maybe this time they will be. Anyways, guys, with that, have a great weekend, or whenever you're seeing this, have a great whatever day, and we'll see you all next one. Take care.
Bye.